It's the Eagle Community Television Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Hi, I'm Gary Shorman, and this is the Forum on Eagle Television. Great to have you watching along as our Forum program is brought to you by Hayes Med. Our guest today is Mike Rader, and Mike is the official supervisor, wildlife education supervisor, as part of the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks, and Tourism. So Mike, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about a cool award that's going to be coming up later this week, but before we go there, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved with wildlife and parks education?
Growing up in north central Kansas, Kensington's my hometown, and I was always interested in nature. My parents and grandparents were always in tune with that, and I kind of developed the love of that from them. I went to college at Kansas State University. First decided to try to get a degree in wildlife biology, and then ended up switching over to park resources management. So I've kind of had a love of the outdoors for as long as I can remember.
When you think about that, Kansas has some wonderful outdoor areas. I grew up in. There was a point in time when I was thinking about things to do that working at Parks Department would have been an interesting thing just because of the beauty that we have in Kansas. So there's the parks, there's all that. What specifically is your job? When you talk about education, what does that involve?
I work in the education section of our agency. I work out of the Pratt office, and I supervise people that work at the Milford Nature Center near Junction City. I have an employee that's at the Prairie Center at Olathe. It's a 300-acre natural area that we maintain there. I have a person that I supervise out of the Wetlands Education Center at Cheyenne Bottoms. And I have a person that operates the museum and Pratt Education Center in Pratt. And then we also run a small nature center in southeast Kansas called the Southeast Kansas Nature Center at Galena, Shimmerhorn Park.
Well, let's talk about each one of those. What do you see at Milford? I mean, there's obviously different areas around the state. What do you see at these different areas?
Milford's a great location. Obviously, there's a pretty high population base. The people there get, our staff there, get the opportunity to help educate a tremendous number of people there, ones that come from the military base or Fort Riley, ones that may not know a lot about the wildlife and things that we do have in Kansas. So it creates an excellent opportunity to try to teach them more of the things that we do have available here in Kansas.
Now, a lot of people know about Cheyenne Bottoms, but what all takes place at the Education Center there?
The Education Center does both on-site and off-site educational programming. There's lots of drop-in visitation, people that are coming to Cheyenne Bottoms to look at the wildlife that's there, mostly birds, but other wildlife as well. But there are two educational staff people there. One that I supervise, her name is Pam Martin, and Fort Hays State University also maintains a presence there. The director is actually a Fort Hays State employee, Curtis Wolf, and there's another educator there, and they assist each other in trying to put forward the mission of that facility is educating the public.
I assume there's really no silly or stupid questions, but I bet you get some with people that aren't experienced in the wildlife part of things, and people, but that's what you're there for.
Exactly.
Do you see when people come in, is it mostly students or adults?
It's a good mix. A lot of times it's family oriented as well. So we'll get families that come in, adults and children of any age, come in. They're interested in what's available to see at particular locations. We have interpretive displays and exhibits at each location. So there's that for them to view when they come in.
What about when you go in and you look at doing these things? Do you go out and also do presentations, or do your team go out and do that?
For the most part, the team that we have does that. I do some of that. I'm actually helping in Hutchinson this week for their Master Naturalist program. I'm doing the ornithology section. Bird watching is my main hobby, so that's something I have a keen interest in and can try to lend some expertise when I can.
Well, tell us about this fun award, because it's come, yes, we learned that the John K. Strickler Award, that's named after the founder of the KC, which is the Kansas
Association for Conservation and Environmental Education.
That's the one. You have the award, and what I understand, that's a cool award because it really goes back and to what the whole system is about.
Certainly. John Strickler was a state forester, and he had a very keen or avid interest in conservation education, and he wanted to pass that on to people statewide. And he and some other folks, Gary Hewlett from here in Hayes was another person heavily involved. and some other folks, and they formed KC, Kansas Association for Conservation and Environmental Education, in 1969, and it's been operating since then, and it's morphed into one of the leading organizations of its type in the nation.
Well, congratulations on that award. How does that happen? Is that a dinner, an event, a banquet? What happened?
The awards ceremony or celebration will be on Friday, April 6th, and it's at the Sunset Zoo in Manhattan. And it's a it's a combination of awards ceremony for people that have got awards, such as the Strickler award that I got, plus other awards that Casey gives out. There are different categories: education, which one of our teachers that used to be at Wilson, that's now at Smoky Valley and Lindsborg, received one of those. The program that I graduated from at Kansas State University is receiving an award this year. And then there are other awards, agricultural awards. Anybody that's involved in outdoor or conservation type education are available to go into this award ceremony. And we also, Casey also uses that as sort of a fundraiser. There's a silent auction, and then we have live auction items that are auctioned off that evening to the people that come and participate.
Well, congratulations. Obviously, people have taken note of what you've been doing. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And what we want to do is talk a little bit about some of the other programs. Not like you just show up and you get an award. You have other programs that are pretty cool. We're going to take a break if that's okay,
sure,
Mike.
That's fine.
And we're going to come back and talk about those awards. Our guest is Mike Rader, and Mike is in charge of education and the Wildlife and Parks Department, and he works out of the Pratt office. More with Mike after this.
Hayes Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hayes Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hayes Med, helping people be healthy.
Eagle Communications is your ultimate business partner. We provide business class phone with customizable features and fast, reliable internet. Your knowledgeable team at Technology Solutions has a broad base of IT services to meet your needs. Let the experts at Marketing Solutions get your message to the right people on the best platforms. The only piece missing is your business. Call Eagle Communications today at 877-61-EAGLE.
Hi everyone, Gary Shorman back with the second half of our forum program here on Eagle Communications. If you have any ideas or suggestions for future shows, I'd like to hear from you. Again, you can find me at gary.shorman@eaglecom.net, or you can find us on Facebook under ECTV Forum. Our guest is Mike Rader, and Mike is part of Wildlife and Parks and Tourism in the state of Kansas, in charge of their education division. And Mike, we were talking going into the break that there's several other programs that you guys offer. One of those is called the OWLS program. What is that?
OWLS is an acronym that stands for Outdoor Wildlife Learning Sites. That's a program where schools can apply for funding from our agency that they can put towards making green space at their school. It has to have components that are wildlife attracting features. So native plant propagation, water facilities, like bird baths or bubbling rocks or ponds, things like that. And it's all geared towards getting some outdoor classroom time for students. Provides that opportunity for them. Our agency provides that funding up to $2,000 for an initial grant, and then we have lesser amounts for other types of grants that schools can put in for.
That's fun. Now, is that for college students or high school students? Who's involved with that?
This is pre-K through 12, typically. We have some sites that we consider regional sites, like our nature centers. The Wetlands Ed Center at Shine Bottoms has a site. Our Southeast Kansas Nature Center at Galena has a site, but typically it's involved with schools, and they can be private, public, doesn't matter.
One of my other notes shows that you have a thing called Eco Meets. What's Eco Meets?
It's actually Eco Meet is the way we say it, but that's all right.
I can say it Echo, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
Eco Meets, let's get it right.
There are quiz bowl competitions that we do with high school students, and it involves native Kansas plants and animals. A lot of times students can do Scholars Bowl, Quiz Bowl type things, and they sometimes will touch on something that's wild or native or something, but typically that's not what they're involved with. So this was an opportunity for us to do that. And it's actually been going on for 20 years in Kansas as a statewide event. We do 10 regionals around the state, one of which is here at Hayes at the Sternberg Museum, and they occur in the fall, and it gives students the opportunity to study and learn about different things that we have here in Kansas, and then they prove their knowledge.
What else do you guys do? Because I know you have all sorts of different programs. You went down a list earlier when we were talking, just really a lot of different things you can be involved in to learn about wildlife in the state of Kansas.
Within Casey, for example, we do teacher trainings. I'm a facilitator, but we have staff at Casey that do that. We have Project Learning Tree, which sort of like what it sounds. Project WET, which is water education for teachers. Project Wild, which is more of what I'm involved with wildlife education. And what those are is our teacher training workshops, where you as a teacher, for example, can go through a workshop, you can become certified, and you can get continuing education credits through one of the universities to help towards what you need as a teacher. But then also you'll get the education manuals that you can try to integrate that into your classroom.
You know, Kansas has so many cool places to visit. It's great to have that educational side of it. How do people hook in with that? Can they go online? Can they find something online about it?
Our agency obviously has a website. The quickest thing is to do a Google search or a Bing search or something for our agency, but it's kansasoutdoors.com. You can go there. There's an education tab. You can see some of the things that we're involved with as far as an agency. Casey has a website as well, and they'll have the schedules for the workshops, things like that they have going on, where you can go to one where they're available.
Now, is that a KACEE? Is that .org?
Correct.
Going there, very good. Mike, congratulations on your award, and thanks for being here with us. Mike Rader is our guest today. He's Wildlife Education Supervisor for the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks, and Tourism. Thanks for watching us here on The Forum. The Forum brought to you by Hayes Med and by Eagle Communication, our community connected.
Are you frustrated with Wi-Fi dead zones in your home? It happens when you don't have Boost, the cutting-edge Wi-Fi solution from Eagle Communications. A Boost-certified Eagle technician maps your home, then installs a dual-band modem and router, plus discrete access points to deliver wall-to-wall Wi-Fi with no dead zones. Boost powers all your family's devices in all the places you love to live. Get Boost. Wi-Fi made simple. Only from Eagle Communications. Call today.